All right. So think of it like this. If you want to get your inner world to map and match your outer world, what you need to do is you need to allow yourself to have the feeling of freshness again in your experience. You're trying something new. You're learning something
Mhm.
new. Obviously, you've done this before. And so you basically have to position yourself for success in allowing yourself to be like a child again. So, how do we go about doing that? We try new
Mhm.
things again and again and again and again and again. And just one of them is being able to have a better relationship with yourself. But the thing is, in your daily life, you're probably constantly giving your time and your energy away to other people, reacting to the environment around you. And when do you ever get to stop and slow down and have a meeting with yourself?
Not very often.
All right. So, like, the person that you're going to spend most of your life with is who?
Me?
All right, then. So it's pretty simple. Well, why not have a meeting with yourself and check in, see what's going on? What could be better? What's not working
Mhm.
right now? So, simply put, the self reflection modality and the practice that I created is something that I did because I didn't have any other resources. I didn't have anybody to go to ask for help.
Mhm.
And in the resourcefulness that I did have, I just thought, oh, yeah, what is progress for me? I'm going to speak into a camera and I'm going to go after it. And I did. And I healed a lot of the mental and emotional restraints that were keeping me from knowing anything within the sphere of who I am. Because
Mhm.
previously I was mentally and emotionally manipulated to be a duplicate version of somebody else's desires for me, a
Yeah.
slave to their reality. And so I had to experience the opposite. And the healing was really doing the things that I believed would help me develop my personal truth. It was the exact opposite of all the things of other people telling me what my truth was for me.
Yeah.
So making it a habit to pursue your personal truth and to expand your boundary, your sense of self, is essential.
Mhm.
And developing for what you need to remove this imposter syndrome is basically to become identified with the self and expand that outward so that, you're not in this place where, oh, the world doesn't like me and my point of view. Here's a bubble around my head. And so it's going to shrink if I don't believe that I'm confident enough to be able to be me. You need to expand that. You don't want it to
Mhm.
be easily manipulated. You want to expand that so that you consistently grow how you feel your sphere of influence is going to be able to conquer new territories. In a literal sense, it's like, you as a warrior go to war, you conquer new territories by having new experiences, and then you get those people to like you that you just conquered. And if they don't like you, you won't be able to stay in that territory anymore, right?
Mhm.
And so they'll kick you out. And if you haven't genuinely energetically changed, then that's what happens. Because in life we're trying to get our way, but emotionally manipulating the circumstances doesn't work well because you get kicked out. You can't
Mhm.
manipulate unless if you've actually genuinely changed the energetic vibration. So how do you do that? You actually have to show up every day and become a greater version of yourself. You have to see it, believe it, and then step into it. So in the seeing and believing part of this, you need to have a conversation with yourself about what this looks like.
Mhm.
And the way that you can do that is by speaking into a camera. The issue that you might find is if you've ever tried this, when you play back the recording, you're looking at yourself as you're recording it. And obviously,
Mhm.
that experience is a little bit frightening if you think, oh, I'm being watched. Oh, I'm watching myself. Yeah, what's that like? Ah, it's not so good right now because I'm thinking about myself.
Yeah.
So, like, you have to break yourself loose. And the way that I record is not with this distraction here, but with the back lens here. Have you
Right.
ever thought of that before?
No.
All right. Well, before we had selfie cameras with the screen, we had camera lenses where you
Yeah.
didn't have to worry about these things, right? So a lot of things have gotten a lot more self-involved, and I'm telling you to indulge in that, but in the right direction, not in a narcissistic way, but the exact opposite, which is healing. It's the process of allowing the self identity to relate to and connect with others as you move forward and progress. So you speak here into this lens. And by the way, do we have a time cap? It's been 10.
No, no, it's fine. No.
Okay, cool. So you speak into this lens, and then what you do is when you play it back and you're seeking progress as you're speaking into it, you're going to be looking into your very soul.
Yeah.
You're going to be looking into your eyes and telling yourself what you need. How do I get my needs met? What are my unmet needs? And then you play it back and you will hear basically and see the body language, the tonality in your
Mhm.
voice, and the words you actually speak. And what I found was that I was often lying to myself.
Yeah.
So I had to learn to catch those lies and transform them into a new reality.
Mm.
And the process of doing that hundreds upon thousands of times doesn't come without accountability. And I call accountability uh, responsibility, comma, with others, because it's with you and with others and
Mhm.
integrity. So showing up and having that meeting with yourself is literally what is going to connect you to all the things that you need to be telling yourself and transforming the things that you're telling yourself that are hurting you into serving you. You're literally
Mhm.
going to turn your pain into your purpose, right? And when you have awareness to what it is that you are thinking and what you're doing, and you speak toward a definite goal, a purpose, you have an aim, you're able to take steps in a genuine progression where you're seeing coming out at the light of the tunnel. And literally, you're walking through the darkness, but it doesn't hurt you.
Mhm.
Because when you try and do something that helps someone, do you genuinely believe that it helps them? Here's a
Yeah.
good question for you. Okay. So then if you do that, then you probably live your life in a service-based mentality, right? I can
Yeah.
do no
100%.
wrong. I'm just trying to help them, and I'm doing my best to do so.
Yeah.
So then why is your content not the same that you're creating?
Yeah. Because I suppose I still question. Yeah, I know I help them, but I guess it comes to the money side of things. So when I give the freebies out, I've no problem with that sharing that because I know that it's not cost them. But when it comes to them charging them money, that's when I feel like, oh, I'm not delivering a good enough service for them.
I
Yeah.
mean that's a literal fear.
Yeah.
Like you have to speak about it, and basically when you do that, you're gonna probably create a goal to experience the opposite, right? So what would
Yeah.
provide me relief? What would make me feel better? Well, I'm going to ask people for money. And you trial that. So, like,
Hmm.
literally in the self reflection process, you'll be like, this is the direction I need to go that'll make me feel better. And then you go do the thing that'll potentially make you feel better. And maybe the universe or the warriors that you just conquered slap you in the face. But yeah, realize through playing back another film that you just make talking about what it was like to get slapped in the face, what could potentially be better? What did you do wrong? What, could you improve upon? And if you get a yes, then you feel the highlight. Oh, I'm going to keep going in this direction. It feels better. So literally
Hmm.
following, the development of your preferences and seeing them through, I think the thing that most people need is following through with their commitments and learning and extracting the wisdom from doing so because you're missing all the elements of life if you fail to follow through with your commitments. So You wouldn't learn anything if you didn't do so.
No.
And for you, that first example is to just ask. You can even express it in a vulnerable way as you develop the ability to communicate like that. You know, hey, it's not often that I have provided my services in a capacity where I feel like there's a reciprocal exchange. I've done everything I can to be able to make this business work in a way that it's serving people, but
Hmm.
often it hasn't been serving me. Monetarily, I'm not making money, and I've given years of my life to this. I would really love it if you would value my work by supporting me. So I'd like to ask, if it's not too much to ask, can I charge you for this service? This is how much it costs.
Hmm.
Like you see how easy it is to open your heart if you've practiced
Yeah.
it and like lead them to the righteous hopeful path and faith with you. Yeah. So like you do that and you just keep doing that in connection to your self-identity and the other every day and your expansive presence, your sense of self, your boundaries will dissolve because you'll become more unlimited in how you feel you can connect the self to the other. So you'll lose the fears concerning relational trauma because you re-expose yourself to the thing and you experience the opposite and you strive to experience the opposite. It may not work with everybody, but then you'll find the relationships that are compatible for you and the ones that aren't.
Hmm.
You'll strive to make them work, and if they don't work, it's probably something on their end that you can't control. Then you find the people that align with you in life, and you continue to walk with them and uplift them, as well as yourself.
Sounds so easy when you say it like that.
Yeah. And the thing about it is though is that you're documenting instead of creating.
Hmm.
So you got to kind of look at it like there's a quote from Alex Hermosi, and he says, "You don't build confidence by shouting affirmations in the mirror. You build confidence by creating an undeniable stack of proof that you are who you say you are." What does that
That's
mean?
true.
You have to put in the mental reps. You have to show up. And the stack of proof that you're building is going to be this documented journey of fulfilling your dreams. This is where I am. This is where I say I'm going. This is the process of me doing those things to become who I want to be. And this is where I was. You now have the recall of a year ago. This is where I was. This is where I am now. Play the videos side by side. Oh no! Hoorah! You know what I mean?
Wow. Hmm.
Yeah, so it really is an inspirational journey. And the confidence is going to be there because you'll see it through.
Yeah, because funny, I've done a couple of videos on Facebook. I never sort of like I'd just be randomly think something will come in my head, and I'm like, oh, I'll have to do a video, and it's been like 5 minutes. And at first, I was like, oh, I can't watch them back, but I have watched them back, and I did like my hypnotherapy training. When I watch myself, I see myself. I feel I'm quite confident. When I watch myself, I'm going, wow, that's quite a confident woman, that. And yet, that's me. And then other times, I'm like, I don't feel it at all. But what I'm seeing is completely different.
You know, the interesting thing about your work is that the reason you probably do it is in some way it helped you become who you are because you had problems inside of you that you
Yeah.
needed to transform. So think of that as you like your protector self. It's the part of you that had to grow up because you had fears over here.
Yeah.
So like your outward persona, your new egoic identity serves you and other people, but what you need to come back to the commitment of is continuing to serve you where you're at now.
Hmm.
And there may still be things that you need to put hope into that's lingering in the past that,
Hmm.
currently in the present you need to shift and transform the energy for.
Yeah.
And
Hmm.
you need to stop trying to be the sole channel and teacher for the thing and try and teach yourself and have it be okay to be a learner again. Back to the beginning of how I started this. Have new experiences, talk to yourself, have it be okay to be a failure, to look bad,
Hmm.
be a beginner again. And when you do that, consider the content is for you for the most part. It is
Hmm.
in the fact and the eventual act of if somebody relates to me and my ability to express myself in a way that I can be understood, connecting to me, then they can be a fan for this type of content for my journey. The content where you're committed to your sense of self and the expansion of it in connection to others. It is from this process of documenting instead of creating what you're not, but actually becoming all that you actually are, that is going to inspire the self energy to transform as you move forward and continue to follow through. And then you can put the actual content and transformed energy into content created specifically for other people.
I like that, yeah.
So this is content for you and other people who love you and just like are super fans. But for the most part, the viewership and it actually being necessary for other people to watch this stuff and get to know your work in this way, it should be more about getting to know you and what you're
Hmm.
currently going through. It's vlogging for healing. And the internet, a modern movement. Other people jump in, they're inspired. Oh, what are you doing? I want to try it. And then thirdly, when you get multiple people, like 100 monkeys, to start using this as the primary tool, then the 100 monkey theory kicks in and everybody starts doing it. Why are we not approaching mental health this way? Like it just makes so much sense. Why am I seeing a therapist and paying them when they don't
Hmm.
solve the problem and I keep coming back and paying them? No, just like let me be my own therapist, my own greatest healer, my own greatest mentor. It's totally possible. Only I know the answers. Nobody knows me better than me. So like let me look at myself in the freaking mirror, play the recording back and scare myself out of my fears and then come back and resolve everything.
It's actually a revolutionary way of doing it, isn't it? Because I'd say that like we know all the answers, we know everything, we don't need to. We're just so used to asking everyone else. And I've done loads of talking therapy over the years to help me with all my childhood and stuff, and it doesn't end up getting it anywhere. I just find it's just going round in a circle and round in a circle. So yeah,
The difference is you need to connect with the self.
yeah.
You can go to external resources for your entire life. You can Google search or AI search, or you can ask other people. But absolutely, you're totally right. You need to feel into the intuition
Hmm.
of your heart centered awareness and follow through with what is right for you. Your emotional guidance system is your compass.
Hmm.
If you don't pay attention to it, you will most likely always head in the wrong direction.
Yeah, yeah. I don't listen to myself enough. I'm always pushing and always thinking I need to be doing something to help everyone else and forget about number one, which is me. Mm. It can be eye-opening for me because I think it's hard when I think when you've done. I've been a caregiver. I've been someone I've had children. I've given all my life. All I've known is since I was left school, it was to care for people. And it's like I lost my identity along the way. It's like, who is me? Who am I? What do I love to do? Who am I? It's like I just got so lost amongst it all. Um, and I really want to build that relationship with myself.
Yeah, I totally understand.
So what? questions do you ask then? So do you just talk to yourself every day? Is that how, do you have
So
any prompts or
so there's just one prompt. Love the self and the other at the same time. And there's an actual process for doing that. Like there's a formula, right?
yeah.
But basically if you're moving in the direction of loving the self and the other at the same time while pursuing what would be loving to you,
Yeah.
you basically can't do wrong.
Hmm.
And everything goes toward the opposite of that narcissism that I healed from, right? And so moving in the direction of openness rather than constriction in your self-expression is going to be the key to you letting go. It's going to be the key to you opening yourself up to more. Obviously, you have a need for abundance.
Yes,
A lot of that comes with giving, but a lot of it also comes with receiving too.
absolutely.
Get the yin and yang in balance. Look at your moon behind you. It's got the colors for it.
Yeah, I'm very, like say, I am very not very good at receiving. I'm all about I can look after myself. I don't need anyone to help me. So, and that's keeping people away. Then people are probably going, hang on a minute, I was going to come to you for some help, but you don't need me because you can do it all yourself. So, I know it's a bit abstract, but in theory, I'm repelling people by being so. I don't need anyone. I can do this all myself, Anna.
I think we're human. If you just express that difficulty, it's much more relatable because everybody can relate to pain.
Hmm. Yeah. Mm. Interesting.
Most definitely. So, to answer how you can get started, because that's what you want to know, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So inside of the community that I invited you to, there's a classroom section,
Yeah.
which basically has a video course. Have you looked through any of that yet?
I haven't noticed. I mean, I'm at times I mean to go on it and then I end up doing a million other things. I'm so scared.
I understand. Just do this. After our call,
Yeah.
I want you to take a look at having a meeting with yourself on camera.
Hmm.
And you're going to do this in self-reflection based on what you just learned here.
Yeah.
So, knowledge plus experience plus self-reflection equals wisdom. And if you're missing the self-reflective part, you're really missing the self-application of connecting with what moves you.
Yeah.
So, you've learned something. Knowledge is applicable information,
Hmm.
or it's information that can be applied. You can get information anywhere, but for what's relevant to you, knowledge is
Hmm.
relevant information
Yeah.
plus experience. You experience the thing, you do the thing, you try and conquer the territory, plus self reflection. Are these people loving me inside of me? Am I loving myself inside of me? Can I stay here? Am I welcome?
Hmm.
Wisdom. Yes, I'm welcome because. So, what you're going to do, I'm going to screen share for a second here. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Right here. Okay. You see this?
Yeah, it's coming up.
All right. So, I may have access to things that you see or don't see, but
Yeah.
you don't want to do cohort two, as this one says. These are just do the first one, the one that's all fleshed out like this.
Hmm.
It's got a lot. So you're going to want to come here and it's going to tell you how to navigate the course. So it basically tells you here's a specific order that would benefit you if you take action first rather than just consume an hour's content and then wait to do stuff, right? Take
Hmm.
action first. And that'll basically tell you, look, you want to do the micro lessons first. Just read this, do this, make it simple. Don't make it hard. Uh, Read that, film yourself for 5 minutes. All right. See where that goes. And then come back and do the next thing, which is probably micro lesson two and perhaps combination, starting to learn what it is I'm actually teaching you. Right. And then you just keep adding layer by layer. These are supposed to be daily things. So you show up every day and you do your 5 minutes and learn something and apply it and self reflect kind of deal. Does that
Hmm.
make sense? So
Yeah.
inside of this community right here, you just go to classroom right there. And then you click this
Yeah.
and then how to navigate the course. And then the micro lessons are down here. Okay.
Excellent. Yeah.
That's it.
Fantastic. I can do that.
So generally speaking, the best time to do this process, which is called awareness documentation, is when you're stressed out, most primarily with your relationships.
Hmm.
If you're questioning your self identity, or if you're triggered or distressed by something relating to somebody else, and you need to connect with yourself and with others, it's going to be a superpower for transforming that relational trauma.
Wow.
Now, secondarily, like you're learning, and I showed you something in this conversation, you have, if you want the recording, I can send it to you. Self reflection is used for transforming knowledge into wisdom. So if you learn something and you talk about it and you can actually teach it, you prove that you know it.
Hmm.
So rehearsing the things you do want to happen mentally and emotionally is faith. If you're trying to create the outcome for something based on what you learn and what you're trying to apply and grow into, having a little faith actually helps work toward that outcome. So you're opening the doorways in between by allowing yourself to energetically prepare, develop critical thinking, which is the capacity to question your own thought process, and move forward into the next thing. You're directly approaching your problems by stepping into them
Yeah.
and then resolving them by allowing yourself to be with them. So, actually allowing yourself to sit with and experience the pain once you go through it is a part that is a necessary struggle for that battle. But once you do that, moving forward, it's a lot easier to experience hope if you can feel it first and then to see it through.
Hmm.
Problem is, most people are stuck in repeating the same cycle of the problem and the pain, and they live in that pattern.
Yeah.
So you just need to transform it into hope and a new solution, okay?
Yeah, that makes total sense. I really like that. Because I'm tired of the same old, and I'm determined to do so much this year. Like the healing journey's never over, and I've got so much to heal from. But I think there's more than that. There's so much you can concentrate and go, well, I need to heal from all this, I need to heal, but then you're not living, are you? There's a kind of point where you got to go, right, I need to live still. And but the main thing you brought up here for me is having that relationship with me is gonna change everything because then I'm going to come across more confident as well because I'm going to be like, well, I think I'm great. Do you know what I mean? Not in a narcissistic way, but I think I'm good. It's like once I feel that, I will
It's
know
healthy
that,
narcissism, so you understand.
yes, yeah. and I can then sell myself because I'll be like, well, I am good. I really am good at this, and mean it and feel it, and it'll come across.
Yeah, I
Mm.
agree.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to this.
Right on. Yeah, me too. Me too.
Yeah.
So
Thank you.
this first week that you're going to experience inside the classroom, it's free. Okay.
Thank you. Yeah.
So I want you to fully invest yourself as if you're paying money for it.
Yeah.
And the way that you do that is by following through with your commitment, obviously, right?
Yeah.
And if you're looking and listening and paying attention to life, you're going to get what you need out of it.
Hmm.
So it's supposed to be a daily practice
Yeah.
combined with experiences, learning new things, having new conversations.
Hmm.
You shouldn't be absent of those three things. You need to combine
Yeah.
those three things with it, which means your life needs to be active in its
Yeah.
expression. Okay. So do you think you can show up every day or do you need a day's break in between when you make these
No,
videos?
I can show because I do meditate in the morning. I do Reiki and stuff like that, and I do journals, so I do make time for myself.
Okay,
So
cool.
yeah, I can do
And
that.
by the way, I'm not stopping you from doing more than, a week of videos. All right. Like what I
Yeah.
share works. It's just, there's obviously more to it after that that I
Yeah.
can provide more clarity
Yeah.
for.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah.
so give that a try
Yeah.
and update me a little bit along the way. I look
Hmm.
forward to seeing what you grow and step into, okay?
Thank you. Yeah, definitely.
There are some things you're gonna need to learn though, like how to upload a YouTube video if you haven't already, and how to
Yeah,
post it
I've
inside the
done
group.
that. I've done it.
Okay. Okay, so those physical, tangible things probably easier for you. Now you need to actually do reset. This is what I do. Okay.
Yeah.
Super.
Thank you.
Is there anything holding you back other than time?
Nothing. No.
All right. Well, you know where the time better serves you, right?
Hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
Right on. When you do that, where you're investing your time where it doesn't serve you, will be able to be freed up and reinvested where it's needed most. So it actually
Yeah.
saves you time.
Yeah.
Forget all the bullshit. Focus on the good shit.
Hmm.
The priorities, right?
Hmm.
Your emotional compass will set you loose. Is there anything else I can do for you, D?
No, that's it. Amazing. Thank you.
Sure. Do you want the recording?
Yeah, that'd be great if you don't mind, please. Yeah, I'd love that.
Okay. Only if you actually watch it.
I will. I will watch it. I will.
All
Be
right.
interested in watching. Yeah, because I appreciate everything you said, but you try to take everything in you said. It's not as easy, is it? When I really want to process that, so I will
It's a
watch it.
process for sure. For sure.
Mm.
Can I share this recording?
Yeah, yeah, of
Really?
course. Yeah, it's no problem. Yeah,
Okay. You see, at some point, I may release a podcast about documenting stuff, and so maybe that'll be helpful. I just want your word now because you'll forget about what the conversation is later, and you know.
yeah. No, it's absolutely fine. No problem at all.
All right, super. Thank you. I appreciate your time and your attention. You continue being well and keep taking care of the world, okay?
Thank you very much. Thank you for your time.
Remember, it starts here.
Yeah,
I love you.
thank you. Bye.